What is your main point about James Harden so Wendy can react?
So, Wendy, you heard the sound coming into our program where a player said, I think it was Tyrese Maxey, it was his night tonight to lead us to a dub. And I looked at Max and said, exactly, verbatim. It was his night tonight. James Harden played his tail off. But when people say, I knew we would get vintage James Harden back, I'm saying, whoa, wait a guys. Vintage James Harden last night, shooting that way, would have dropped 50. Like, for him to drop 31, a lot of those shots were contested. It was more so the passing that impressed me. But don't expect James Harden to be the guy who's going to drop 35, 40 every single night. That's no longer who I think James Harden is. The passing and guys receiving those passes and shooting 49% from the three-point line, that's what makes it look good. That's what makes you think they're a championship team. But don't expect him to revert back to a guy who dropped 45 every single night consistently. Last night was an anomaly, a 30-plus point game.
Right. Well, I mean, I think he had 3 consecutive seasons where he averaged 30 points a game. So, I mean, you could argue that, I guess you could say it was vintage and that it was an average Harden game from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But I would say 2 things. One, he made his 3-pointers. He was only 2 of 8 inside the 3-point line. He still, isn't getting to those spots like he did, but he went 6 of 10 from 3-point range. And look, he looked spry in doing it. He had a couple of those step backs where he looked light on his feet, where he drove in and then, came back to get separation, and that looked good. And this is largely, I wish it wasn't as simple. This series has largely been who makes their 3-pointers. Philly could not buy a shot in Miami the first 2 games. They were 14 of 64 on threes. They lose the 2 games. Miami, the 2 games in Philly, 14 of 65. 14 of 64 for Philly. They lose the first 2. 14 of 65 for Miami. They lose the next 2. Now, of course, it's not just that. One of the reasons why Philly shot the ball much better from 3-point range, they were at almost 50% in these last 2 games, is because Embiid came back. Yep. Embiid came back and changed the spacing and changed the dynamic and created open looks. Of course, that was a factor. Kyle Lowry is really, really wounded. He's not even moving very well. He's not playing well at all. He can't get a shot to go, and he can't create shots as normal. I mean, there are factors that are related to it, but this has been a 3-point shooting series. And so it was great to see James Harden deliver it. And, the one moment when James hit one of those threes in the fourth quarter and Embiid was on the bench and he just was, standing up and pounding his, pumping his fists, because that's the concept of what this partnership is supposed to be. He and James working together. It was a terrific moment, but what's happening in the series is really much more basic. And guys, if you're Philly, you got to feel good because you have Embiid. It's 2-0 since Embiid came back, and you're going down there needing one win in 2 games in Miami with Embiid. So you like your chances.
Wendy, you are in Milwaukee covering the Bucks and the Celtics, and Jason Tatum seemed to have hurt his wrist on that dunk over Giannis. Are the Celtics worried about that at all moving forward, or any concerns?
He really downplayed that what led to his performance. He says it's been bothering him for a while. It was bothering him in the second half of Game 2 when he had 24 points in the second half of that game. So that's not what he is saying. I think what's happened is, this series, it's a very tight series. Both teams are playing excellent defense. There's some possessions where you're just in awe of the way the one team, goes through its strengths and slows the other team. So it's really coming down to who can just individually will it. And Giannis willed it in Game 3. I mean, at 42, he was furious at the way he played in Game 2. He sat around for 3 days and stewed about it and came out in what he knew was a vital Game 3 and dropped 42 in a relentless attack on the basket. And Tatum, who is the Celtics version of Giannis. Now, they are not the same player. They have different games, but both of them are super elite players. Tatum did not have the same aggression. He got frustrated with some of the things that the Bucks were doing to him defensively. He was, making decisions that were just wrong. He was misreading situations. He was dribbling himself into trouble and passing up opportunities when he had looks. He was just off. And in a series this close, you cannot afford your best player to lay an egg. Everybody has bad shooting nights, but Tatum had a passive bad shooting night, and it was just not acceptable. And if they're going to win this series, which they now have less margin for error, Tatum has to be great, bottom line.
Brian Windhorst, ESPN NBA Insider.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.